Hi, hello, grade 6 Allegiance and grade 6 Brave of Baha'i Elementary School. Welcome to your video lesson in English 6. Okay, how are you today? Are you feeling good? Are you excited for our lesson today? Okay. Okay, so are you done with your learning activity sheets in other subjects? If you are done, very good. Okay, now let's get started with our new lesson for today, which is all about simple tenses of verbs. Okay, this is our lesson for today. We're going to talk about the simple tenses of the verb. Okay, this is your week 1 for English 6, 4th quarter. Okay, are you ready? If yes, let's get started. Okay, my dear grade 6 learners, this will be our focus for today. Our most essential learning competency is to compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate grammatical structures. And our focus for this lesson is all about the different verb tenses. Okay, so as you are watching this video, listen carefully to our discussion and be able to do all the activity or the practice test that I'm going to give you. And it is also written on your learning activity sheets that I gave last Monday. Okay, so are you ready? Let's go! Class. So, bago tayo magsimula, before we start, let us first review what is a verb. Yes, we all know verb is an action word. Yung mga salita na nagpapakita ng kilos in Filipino. Okay? Action word. Example like swim, ano pa? Eat, what else? Write, watch, read, ano pa po? We can also say listen, drink, ano pa? Hear, know, ano pa po? Where. Okay, lahat ng word class na merong action, those are the verb. Okay? Or pwede rin naman siyang state of being. Okay? So, like for example, am, is, are, was, and were. Okay? These are the 5 linking verbs. Okay, I hope you remember that, class. This is only a review kasi diniscuss na natin yan ng makailang ulit. So, I hope you still remember, okay? Basta tandaan nyo lang, class, ang verb, it's an action word. Okay? And for our lesson for today, we're just going to focus on verbs. Okay? Alright. Alright, to begin our lesson with, let's start with what is simple tense or what are simple tenses. Okay, simple tenses are category of verb tense. Okay, it covers the simple past tense, the simple present tense, and the simple future tense. Okay, so we are going to study these three simple tenses for today. This is just very easy if you're going to listen to me, okay? Alright. Okay, so class, unlike the other tenses, the simple tenses describe actions without specifically stating whether the actions are completed or ongoing. So, hindi dito sinasabi ng simple tenses kung yung action ng verb ay tapos na or nangyayari pa lang. Okay? So, kaya nga siya simple tenses. Okay, so we'll get to know more about this as we go along with our lesson for today. Okay, let's go. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to give you example of sentences which are in the simple tense. Okay, let's have an example. First, let's read. Jane walks to school today. Okay, take note of the verb. What is the verb in the sentence? Very good. The verb in the sentence is walks. Okay, how about the subject? What's the subject in the sentence? Correct, it's Jane. This is the subject and this is the verb. Okay, so this is an example of a sentence in present tense or in simple present tense. Okay, let's have another example. Okay, how about this one? Let's read. Jack walked to the market yesterday. Okay, look at the sentence. Can you locate the subject and the verb? Okay, very good. Jack is the subject and the word or the verb walked is the verb. Okay, walk meaning naglakad. Okay, that is the verb in the sentence. So this sentence is an example of a sentence in the past tense. Simple past tense. Okay, next let's have one more. Let's read. Maya will walk to her friend tomorrow. Okay, Okay, now let's answer. What is the subject in the sentence? Okay, Maya is the subject. And how about the verb? Yes, the verb is will walk. Okay, this is the verb. So, in what simple tense this sentence is? You are correct if you say simple future tense. Okay, when you see the word will, that will automatically be a sentence in future tense. Okay? Okay, now we're going to study it more as we go along with our lesson. Okay? Okay, so now class, let's first discuss the simple present tense. Okay, we will first focus in simple present tense. Okay, when we say simple present tense, it describes facts and habitual actions. Okay, do you know what is a fact? Okay, when we say fact, it's a statement that is true and proven by evidence and science. Okay, we know that already. Okay, how about habitual actions? Habitual actions are actions that you often do or you always do every day. Okay, it's already a habit, like brushing your teeth, taking a bath, going to school. Okay, those are habitual actions. Okay, let's have an example. Okay, number one, let's have one example here. The earth revolves around the sun. Okay, let's take a look at the sentence. The earth revolves around the sun. Let's study the sentence. Which is the subject here? The subject is earth, okay, or the earth. That is the subject. How about the verb? What is the verb in this sentence? Okay, the verb in this sentence is the word revolves. Okay, revolves. That is the verb. Okay, so this sentence is an example of simple present tense. And it is a fact or katotohanan. Okay, pag sinabi nating fact, it is always in the simple present tense. Okay? Alright, for example, biology is a branch of science. Okay, that is a fact also. Okay, that is in simple present tense. Alright? Let's have another example, this one. Let's read. I take a bath every day. Okay, let's study the sentence. Which is the subject? Okay, the subject is I. How about the verb? The verb is take. Okay, this is the verb. Let's write letter B, and how about for subject? Let's write letter S. Okay, and notice that expressions of time every day. When we use the word every day, that signals us that the sentence is in the present tense. Okay po? Alright, now let's have another one. Okay, another one class. The simple present tense tells events that are currently happening. Okay, yung nangyayari sa kasalukuyan or ngayon mismo. Okay, pag nagsabi ka ng mga bagay or ng isang statement o pangungusap na sinasabi mo na nangyayari siya ngayon, right now, you will use the simple present tense. Okay, for example, Sheila runs in the field now. Okay, notice the example. What is the subject first? The subject is Sheila. Okay, this is the subject. How about the verb? Okay, the verb is the one with underline, runs. That is the verb, okay, runs. Okay, notice the time expression, okay, or expressions of time. You can see here the word now. When we say now, it means ngayon. So it is happening right now, okay? So when you see the word now, immediately it is a simple present tense, okay? You understand? Okay, let's have one more example. Dogs wag their tails always. Alright, let's look at the sentence. Which is the subject? Okay, that's great. Dogs are the subject. How about the verb? Yes, the verb is wag. This is the verb. And what is the time expression in the sentence? Very good. The word always. So, palagi. So, when you see the word always, it's a hint or a clue that the sentence is in the simple present tense. Okay? You understand now? Good job. Okay, now class, we're going to study the structure of present tense. Or when we say structure, we're talking about the appearance or yung itsura ng present tense. Okay po? Let's have one more. If the subject is singular, the verb is in S form. Do you know what is singular? Do you still remember? When we say singular, it's only one in number. Okay? Nag-iisa lang. Single. Okay? So, pag ang subject natin ay nasa singular form, ang verb natin ay merong S. Or we call that S form. Okay? Let's have an example. Let's read the first. Mika writes a letter to her friends. Okay, let's study the sentence. Where is the subject? The subject is Mika and the verb is writes. Yan yung action. Okay? So, yan. So, we say Mika is singular. Okay? Only one. And the verb should have an S because it should be in S form. Okay? How about the second example? The lion in the zoo roars so loud. Alright, let's read one more. The lion in the zoo roars so loud. Okay, what is the subject here? The subject is lion. How about the verb? Okay, yes, the verb is roars. Did you see the S there? Okay, so therefore, if the subject lion is in singular, the verb should have an S, or it should be in S form. You understand? Okay, how about the next example? Mother cooks the best sinigang. Okay, what is the subject in the sentence? Okay, yes, the subject is mother. And how about the verb? Okay, the verb is cook. Okay, notice there's a letter S because the subject mother is singular. Okay, again we repeat. If the subject is singular, the verb is in S form. Okay, there's an S in the verb. Understand? Okay, very good. Next one. Right, how about this one, class? How about if the subject is in plural? Okay, so if the subject is in plural, the verb is in base form. Okay, when we say base form, wala tayong binago. Kung ano yung verb, yun na yun. Okay, ano naman ang plural? When we say plural, it's two or more. Okay? So, marami na. Dalawa o higit pa. Okay? Let's have an example. Let's read. Number one. Justin and Jenna walk to the park. Alright, let's have an example. Let's understand the sentence. Justin and Jenna walk to the park. What is the subject? Okay, that's good. Justin and Jenna. How about the verb? Okay, the verb is walk. Okay. Notice, class, yung verb natin is nasa base form. Wala tayong dinagdag, wala tayong inalis. Okay? Dahil nasa base form lang siya. Walk. Okay? Kanina meron tayong S kasi singular yung subject. Pero pag ang subject natin ay plural, wala siyang S. You understand? Okay, next. How about the next example? We love baking cookies and pies. Okay, what is the subject? Okay, the subject is we and the verb is love. So, wala tayong binago, walang S, walang D, walang anything. Okay, next one. My parents always visit me here. Okay, the subject is parents, which is plural. Parents, dalawa. May S siya di ba? Kung wala siyang S, di parent lang siya. Kung singular siya, parent lang. Dahil parent siya, that is plural. How about the verb? The verb is visit, which is in base form. Okay? Alright, tandaan lang. Pag singular ang subject, ang verb niya merong S. Pag plural naman ng subject, ang verb walang S. Base form lang siya. Okay? Alright, let's move on. Okay, class. Now, these are the expressions of time in the present tense. When we say expressions of time, ito yung mga palatandaan na ginagamit para ipakita na yung sentence mo ay nasa present tense. Okay? Okay, let's read one by one. Let's have now, nowadays. What else? Every year, recently, every time, at the moment, at the present time. What else? Always, today, frequently, often, or often, constantly, just now, lately, regularly, this day, habitually, at all times, at present, in recent times, and each time. Okay, these are the example of expressions of time in the present tense. So, kapag nakita nyo class tong mga words na to na ginagamit sa sentence, you can therefore conclude that the sentence is in the present tense. Diba? Pag sinabi natin now, ngayon na. Always, palagi. Regularly, lagi-lagi din. Nowadays, so ngayong mga panahon, today, ngayong araw, this day, every year, bawat taon, di ba? Frequently, madalas. Okay, those are the expressions of time that we use to show present tense. But now, let's have more examples. Right, mayroon pa pala class ito, every Monday, and every day, and every week. Yan pa yung mga iba pang expressions of time in the present tense. Right, now let's move on. Okay, now let's have another example. These are some examples of sentences in the present tense. Okay, let's have sample sentences for present tense. Number one, let us everybody read. My brother washes his motorcycle now. Alright, what is the subject? You're right, subject, my brother. How about the verb? Okay, washes. That is the verb. Notice class, yung my brother, ano ba siya? Singular or plural? Okay, that's singular kasi isa lang siya, brother. How about the verb? Pag singular ang subject, yung verb mo merong S or ES. So ito, wash. Wash is the base form. We will add ES. Okay, that's the verb. How about the second example? My sister loves to sew dresses for her dolls. Okay, what is the subject? The subject is my sister, and the verb is loves. Okay, the subject is singular, the verb should have an S. Now, next, let's have number 3. I brush my teeth regularly. Okay, what's the subject? Okay, we have the word I. Okay, brush is the, what is this? Verb. Okay, so when we say I, pag I yung subject mo class, yung verb mo lagi siyang in the base form. Hindi pwedeng lagyan ng S or ES yan. Okay? Lagi lang siyang nasa base form pag ang subject natin ay I or you. Okay, dalawa lang yan. Pag I or you, ang subject mo, yung verb lagi siyang nasa base form. Okay? Okay, number 4. My dogs often eat popcorn. Okay, let's have this example. What is the subject? Okay, the subject is my dogs and the verb is eat. Okay, that is the verb, eat. So when we say my dogs, that is in plural. So the verb should not have an S. It should be in base form. Alright? Okay, class, let's have one more. Number 5, our parents get modules every Monday. Okay, what is the subject here? Subject is our parents. How about the verb? The verb is get. Okay, so that is um, the sentence in the present tense. So let's have our parents. It is in plural. Okay, parents. So therefore, the verb should have no S. Okay, so it should be in base form only. Okay, do you understand the present tense? Alright, very good. Now let's move on to the next simple tense, which is the past tense. Let's have one more. Okay, today we were going to move on to the simple past tense. Right, ito naman, kanina present tense, ngayon naman past tense. Okay, what is the simple past tense, class? The simple past tense describes a completed activity that happened in the past. Oh, kaya nga past na eh, tapos na. Nakalipas na or nakaraan na siya. So, it is already completed and it happened in the past. So, ibig sabihin kahapon, o isang araw, isang taon. So, yun. Mga nangyari na. Okay, let's have an example. And let's have this example. Jenny baked a cake yesterday. Okay, what's the subject in this sentence? What is the subject? Yes, it's Jenny. How about the verb? The verb is bake. Okay, so notice class, pag past tense, yung verb merong D or ED, depende sa verb. Okay, we have studied that a lot already. Okay, next example, they went to Naga City last month. Okay, what's the subject here? The subject is they and the verb is went. Okay, so nasa past form na siya. So, di ba class, I have already given you the list of words with its past and past participle. So, aralan nyo yon as much as possible. Pwedeng i-memorize kung maaari kasi kailangan na kailangan yun class hanggang kayo ay mag-high school and college. So, you should always know the past form and the past participle of the verb. Kasi kailangan yun lagi. Okay? So, ngayon pa lang, aralan na po at tandaan ng maigi ang mga past tense or past form ng mga verbs. Okay? Now, let's have more examples. How about this one? Let's have the structure of the past tense. Alright. Ito naman yung itsura ng past tense. So, class, when the subject is singular or plural, the verb is always in the past form. Yan, walang dito. Dun sa present tense, di ba, magkaiba siya kung singular or plural yung subject. Sa past tense naman, kahit siya singular or plural, dapat yung verb natin laging nasa past form. Okay? Yun, dapat alam nyo kung ano yung mga itsura ng mga verb na nasa past form. Halimbawa, yung eat. Ang past form yun, ate. Halimbawa, walk, walked. Pero kadalasan class sa mga verb, madagdag lang tayo ng D or ED sa dulo. Yun yung mga regular verbs. Pero yung ibang verb, which are the irregular verbs, kailangan nating alam yung mga past form nila. Like for example, yung verb na drink. Ang past form nun is drunk. Okay? So, nag-iiba yung spelling. Sa mga irregular verb, there is a change in spelling. And we have to take note of that. We have to memorize it para di tayo namamali. Okay? So, let's have an example. This one. Dino prepared the art materials a while ago. Okay, what's the subject here? Okay, the subject is Dino and the verb is prepared. Okay, notice class, yung verb natin is nasa past form siya. We add the word D. So, tapos na. And notice the expressions of time here, a while ago. Ibig sabihin, kani-kanina lang. So, ibig sabihin, tapos na. Tapos nang i-prepare ni Dino yung art materials. So, kaya siya nasa past tense. Alright? Let's have one more. We planted corn and cucumber last Monday. Okay, what's the subject here? Okay, subject is the word, the pronoun we, and the verb is planted. Okay, so yan, tapos na. So, malagdag din tayo ng ed. So, that is a regular verb, kaya malagdag lang tayo ng ed, planted. Okay? And the expressions of time is last Monday. Oh, so, nung Monday pa daw, nung Lunes pa daw. Halimbawa, ano sa salita nito is, nagsasalita siya, ng araw, Webes na or Biyernes na. Sasabihin niya, last Monday. Kasi tapos na yung nangyari. Okay? Okay, let's have one more class. My classmates saw the helicopter earlier. Okay, what is the subject? The word classmates or my classmates. And the verb is saw. Okay, that is the past form of the word see. Okay? So, kaya sabi ko sa inyo, dapat alam niyo yung mga past form ng mga verb. Okay? Memorize niyo po yan para di tayo namamali. Okay? So, these sentences are all in the past tense. Okay? Okay, now class, let us study the different expressions of time in the past. Okay, or in the past tense. Okay, let's read one by one. Let's have yesterday, kahapon. Pag yung activity, yung action, ginawa na kahapon, that is already in the past. Okay? What else? An hour ago. Last night, last year, last week, last Monday. Pwede din last month, di ba? Ano ba po? A week ago, long time ago, in the past, formerly, earlier, once, long ago, previously, already, some time ago, at an earlier time, formerly, and once upon a time. So, those are the expressions of time in the past tense. So, class, pag nakita nyo yung ginamit ko sa sentence, ibig sabihin, class, yung sentence na yun ay nasa past tense. Okay? So, aside from looking at the verb, kung ano itsura ng verb, pwede na nyo rin tingnan yung expressions of time. Okay? Para malaman nyo kung anong tense yung sentence na binabasa ninyo. Okay? Alright, now class, let's have example of sentences in the past tense. Right? Okay, let's read number 1. My mother gave a gift to my cousin yesterday. Okay, what's the subject here? Yes, the subject is my mother. How about the verb? Okay, it's the word gave. Okay, so the word gave is the past tense of the word give. Okay? Right. And then notice the expressions of time here. Say yesterday. So, ibig sabihin, tapos na. Kaya ang verb niya nasa past tense na, gave. Okay? Alright, number 2. He smiled at me earlier. Okay, what's the subject? Yes, the word or the pronoun he. And the verb is smiled. So, earlier, ibig sabihin, tapos na, kani-kanina lang. So, dapat smiled, past tense na. So, there we just add the letter D. Okay? That is already in the past form. Alright, next, number 3. We watered the plants an hour ago. Okay, what is the subject here? Okay, the word we. How about the verb? Water. Ibig sabihin, diniligan or binubuan. Yes, in Bicol. Okay, we watered the plants an hour ago. And the time expression is an hour ago. So, isang oras na daw ang nakakalipas ng magdilig sila ng mga plants. Okay? Alright, next one, number 4. Mikey and his friends ate the cake already. Alright, the subject is ito, si Mikey and his friends. That's the subject. And the verb is the word ate. This is the verb. Okay, ate is the past form of the word eat. So, pag tapos ka ng kumain, you are no longer going to use the word eat. It should be ate. Okay, and notice the expressions of time is the word already. Diba? Next, number 5. Last Monday, we received our LAS or Learning Activity Sheets. Okay? So, yan. Asan yung subject dito natin, class? Itong word na we. And the verb is the word received. Okay, yan. Nagdagdag tayo ng letter D. And expressions of time, last Monday. So, nung Monday pa, di ba nung Monday ko pa binigyan kayo ng LAS or learning activity sheets which you are going to answer today. Okay pa, are there any questions about the simple past tense? There's none. Let's continue. Okay, so ngayon naman class, punta na naman natin yung simple future tense. Ito naman, yung mangyayari pa lang. Okay, hindi po siya nangyayari, kundi mangyayari pa lang siya bukas or sa mga susunod na araw or panahon. Ano po? Okay, simple future tense describes an action in the future. Okay, so mangyayari pa lang siya. Diba kanina yung present tense sa past tense? Ngayon naman, future tense. Okay, example, she will write a letter later. Okay, look at the sentence. The subject here is the word she. Okay, and the verb is the word will write. That is the verb. Okay, next example. I am going to bake a cake tomorrow. Okay, let's study the sentence. The subject is the word I, and the verb is the going to bake. Yan naman yung simple future tense. Okay, let's have more examples. Right, so ito naman yung structure of future tense. Okay, so class, when the subject is singular or plural, the verb is will or going to, pwedeng will, pwedeng going to, plus the base form of the verb. Okay, so magamit tayo class ng word na will. Or in some cases, pwede rin gamitin yung going to. Paras lang yan, nasa future tense. Examples, Jessica will go to SM tomorrow. Okay, subject, Jessica, and the verb is will go. So, gamit tayo ng will, tapos yung yung base form ng verb na go. Okay, wala tayong binago. Dagdag lang tayo ng word na will or pwede naman yung going to. We'll say, Jessica is going to SM tomorrow. Okay? Alright, next word. Sentence pala. John and Jen will participate in the contest next week. Okay, so ang subject dito is yung John and Jen. And the verb is will participate. Okay, that is the verb. Okay pa? Now, let's have more example. Okay, but first, let's study the expressions of time in the future. Okay, let's have next day, next Monday, next year, someday, soon, next week, on Sunday, later, one day, one of these days, ano pa po? Tomorrow, next month, in the future, sooner, and at some point. Okay, those are the expressions of time in the future tense. Right, now let's have one more. Right, class, let's have more example of sentences in the future tense. Okay, number 1, let's have, we will go to church next Sunday. Okay, subject is we. Verb, will go. Okay, and the expressions of time, next Sunday. Okay, number 2, my parents will visit our farm tomorrow. Okay, subject, my parents. Verb, will visit. And expressions of time, tomorrow. Okay, bukas pa lang. Ano po? Next, number 3. Jane is going to write an essay later. Subject, Jane. Verb is going to write. Expressions of time is the word later. Okay? Number 4, they will make a project soon. A subject, they. And the verb will make. And expressions of time is the word soon. Okay, next, number 5. Our teachers will print the modules. Okay, subject, our teachers. And the verb is will print. Okay po? Very easy lang, di ba? Okay, do you understand, class? Are there any questions about the simple tenses of the verb? Alright, if there's none, let's proceed to your practice task number 1. Alright, class, now we're going to continue with our practice task 1. So, ito, class, nandun naman to sa inyong learning activity sheets na binigay ko sa inyo. Doon kayo mag-answer, okay po? So, yan. Answeran natin, class. Una, gagawin natin letter A, identify the verb in each of the following sentences. Write past, present, and future. Okay, hanapin nyo muna, class, yung verb, tapos salagay nyo na kung ano siya, kung past, present, or future, kung nasaan. Anong tense niya? Ano po? Okay, like number 1, she sells vegetables every morning. So, anong tense ba yan? Number 2, the doctor wrote the prescription. Number 3, they will surrender. Number 4, Peter guessed the right number. Number 5, I thought the same thing. Okay, kaya niyan, class. Just write past, future, or present in the blanks below, before the number. Okay po? Very good. Okay, dito naman tayo, class, sa letter B ng practice task number 1. Okay, ang gagawin dito, class, is you're going to choose from the box the correct tense of the underlined verb in the sentence. Write the letter only. Okay, so sa learning activity sheets nyo, mayroon dyang mga naka-underline na verb sa kada sentence. So, lalagay nyo lang kung ano siya. Letter lang, class. Kung simple present ba siya, simple past, or simple future. Okay? Like number 1, Mom and I will rake the yard tomorrow. Yung dito yung verb. Yung will rake. Okay, ano siya? Nasaan siya? Simple present, simple past, or simple future? So, just write the letter here. Okay? Number 2, Vicky and I hid the presents before the party. Nandiyan yung verb, yung word na hid. Number 3, we think it is fun to ride roller coasters. Okay, ano dyan ang verb? Ito, think. Okay, how about number 4? Eduardo will marry Carmen in June. What is the subject of the verb? Will marry. Okay, number 5. The student finished his big project on time. Right, verb is finished. Okay, kayo nang bahala, class. You can do it. Right, next, let's have practice task number 2. Yeah, kung tapos na kayo sa practice task number 1, dito naman po tayo sa practice task number 2. Okay, practice task number 2, you're going to read the paragraph silently and underline the correct past form of the verb. So, dito naman, class, babasahin mo na yung paragraph. At pagkatapos nun, underline nyo kung alin yung tamang past form dito sa mga pilian na to. Ito. Yan, yung nasa close and open parenthesis. So, answeran na lang po dyan sa inyong learning activity sheets. Okay, you can do it, class. Read the paragraph silently. Okay pa? Very good. Okay. Ito pa, meron pa tayong another part of practice task number 2. Dito naman, class, you're going to underline the correct present and future form of the verb. Diba kanina past lang? So, ngayon naman, present tsaka future naman. Okay, so, yan yung paragraph. So, underline nyo lang dyan kung alin dyan ang tamang verb na dapat nandyan sa sentence na yan. Okay pa? Do you understand? That is just very easy. Okay, next, practice task number 3. So, dito naman, class, you are going to complete each sentence with the correct tense of the verb. Dito naman, kukomplete mo lang kung ano yung tamang verb. Bawa itong guide. Ano ba dapat dito? Guide, guides, or will guide? O, kayo nang bahala. Ano po? So, ito, tomorrow, the guard blank us on where the incident happened. So, dito ba, di ba meron ng expressions of time na tomorrow? So, ano ba dapat dito? Okay, nang bahala ha. Number 2, I walk almost every day. Ano pa po? I missed the event yesterday. Number 4, she wiped the floor every Saturday. And number 5, COVID-19 started over a year ago. So, kayo nang bahala, class. Just look at the expressions of time in each sentence. Like in number 1, tomorrow. Number 2, yung everyday. Number 3 naman, yesterday. Number 4, every Saturday. And number 5, yung over a year ago. So, kayo nang bahala. You can do it. Just answer it. Okay? Right. Next naman po, ito na yung last sa practice task number 3. You're going to write a sentence using the correct form of the verb given in each sentence. Dito, class, pagawa na kayo ng sarili nyong sentence. Kaya nyo yan, class. Using the verb given. Okay, number 1, like number 1, buy. So, dapat daw, class, nasa present tense. Okay? Ano pa po? At number 2, attend. So, you should use the verb attend in the past. Okay? Number 3, return. Ito naman sa future naman. Number 4, call. It should be in present tense. And number 5, eat in the past tense. Okay? You can do it, class. Kayang-kaya nyo yun. Kayo pa ba? Very good. Okay, so I will be waiting for your answers. Yung mga answer nyo ilagay sa learning activity sheets. Kung hindi na kasya, pwede sa likod. Okay, and ipasa nyo sa akin yan, ha? Okay. Alright, now we are done with our lesson for today. So, yun lang yun. Tungkol lang sa verb tenses, simple verb tenses. So, that will conclude or end our lesson for today. And stay tuned for our next video lesson. And dapat lagi tayong manonood para mas marami kayong matutunan. Okay? Hindi lang sa module, kundi pati na rin sa video. Okay, class? So, mag-aral ng mabuti, class. This is the last quarter bago kayo mag-graduate sa grade 6 at alam kong kayang-kaya nyo yan, class. I believe in you and I am proud of you. Okay, this is your teacher, Ma'am Sailene, saying goodbye. See you next time. Bye-bye.